This has never happened before, and I don't have anyone to talk to. I know putting this online means inviting others to make comments and judge me, but I need to tell someone. Just please be kind. Nothing like this has ever happened to me, and all of my friends are our friends. I have no siblings to confide in. My mother passed when I was born, and I can only guess what she would say. I, 36F, have been married to my man, 39M, for 15 years. We met when I was 16. We get compliments all the time about how we're everyone's favorite couple. We're still very much in love and take the time to keep the romance and intimacy alive. He gets me flowers every payday. OTW home from work, I have dinner ready on the table. We eat together, talk about our days, and clean up together. We share hobbies like golf, fishing, hiking, climbing, and we always find ourselves laughing and having fun. It's like that feeling of being so comfortable with someone you can be as goofy or silly as you want. He's a kind man, he's good to me, and as far as I know, he has always been faithful. I have only ever been with him. He is the only man Eve loved and the only man Eve been with. We talk and text all day when he's at work and talk even more when he gets home. We both believe communication is the key to a happy, healthy relationship. He is my peace. He makes me feel safe, and together we have shared a beautiful life, but I can't talk to him about this. I can't talk to anyone about this. Everyone who knows me knows him and knows about us. That's small towns for you. I recently started a new job in June. I work in an office and don't do anything special. I dress casual every day with a shirt, cardigan, jeans. I tie my hair up, do my work, and go home. I've been here for 2 months, and I don't love the job, but don't hate it either. It's just a way to pay the bills. Now, it all started about 2 weeks ago, and at first I didn't think anything of it, but now it's all I think about. I'm consumed, and it's affecting me being present in regular conversations. I hope that letting it out can give me some relief, so I'm just going to get right into it. The district manager came to the office, and he was greeting everyone, going around saying hello, shaking hands, asking how we like the job, if we have any feedback or requests. I remember this day so well. I replay it in my mind sometimes when I'm alone. I was a quiet girl growing up, so watching people and noticing all the little things about them is something I can't help sometimes. He is tall, gentle, sweet, and you could tell his mama did a great job raising him. A true gentleman and a scholar with so much charm, you could see all the women in the office smiling and blushing. He was this way with everyone, though, even the men, and when it was my turn to meet him, I kept it short and sweet so I could get back to work. The women talk. I hear my supervisor say he usually doesn't come to our office because we are the farthest location from the main office. However, he shows up the next day. He takes up an empty conference room and keeps to himself, except for his coffee break where he makes small talk in the break room, and for lunch he leaves the building and dines out. I don't talk to him much the first week, but I notice he tries to swing by my desk to say good morning with a big warm smile shortly after I get in. The first day he did it, I thought, oh, he's here again, and he's making the rounds. The fourth day I carpooled and was dropped off early, I noticed he wasn't there yet. Looks like he comes in just 10 minutes before me, and this time I get to see his morning routine. I notice he doesn't say good morning to everyone. He goes to his conference room, sets himself up, then comes over to me to say good morning. I see other women watch him. I see them call out to him. He smiles and he waves. He keeps walking as if he's late for a meeting and can't spare a moment to chat. Thursday is date night, so I'm more dressed up than normal since I won't have time to go home and get ready. He stops by my desk as usual. I start to think he just likes talking to me because I keep it short and sweet so we both can get back to work. Then Friday comes and I was not expecting this. He comes over to say good morning, but he makes a joke, or at least I think he's joking. He says to me, "You look stunning the other day. I thought you were dressed up for me, but perhaps that's not the case." I laugh lightly and smile. I say good morning and he goes back to work. I replay this in my mind a few times. No one other than my husband had ever said something like that to me. He's loved me since I was 16. When I was a young girl, I grew up to be a woman by his side. And truthfully, he was the only one who ever saw me. Loving my husband is easy. Our relationship has always been easy. We don't fight much except for what movie to watch. A lot of the time he feels like my best friend, and sometimes my only friend. I'm having all these new emotions, and for the first time, I'm struggling with what my heart's feeling. I recognize the feeling. It's been 20 years, but I know it's butterflies. It's like I'm 16 again, and someone other than Dad noticed me. I'll admit over that first weekend, I wondered what he liked to do, where he was, if he was joking or being honest, and most importantly, if he was thinking about me. I'll admit, on Monday, I dressed up. Part of me wanted him to notice me again, but he wasn't there. I didn't actually realize how much I wanted to see him until I didn't. Then he was back on Wednesday. I'm not dressed up and back to my normal, and he stops by, but this time he says, "Good morning, beautiful." And my first thought is, does he see the ring? Eve worn it every day for 15 years. The tan on my finger will be there forever, I'm sure. I'm caught off guard by that last bit. There's no joke this time. It doesn't feel innocent or polite, it feels intentional. I had mentioned earlier that I didn't bring lunch today and was going to get something from the vending machines to a friend, and I guess he overheard us. Later that day, he asked to take me to lunch. I declined politely and say something about how the vending machine, and I already have plans, but he insists. He asks, "Who would you rather be disappointed, the vending machine or me?" I smile and grab my things. He takes me to lunch. He's a gentleman. He opens the doors. He walks behind me. He pulls out my chair. He asks about me personally, my family, my likes, my hobbies. He's attentive, and he feels so warm and genuine. We go back to work, and this is when he starts to consume my thoughts. That was friendly, wasn't it? Just two coworkers having lunch, right? Why has he taken such an interest in me? I give myself a headache with too many thoughts and what ifs. Thursday is date night. I'm dressed up, but he isn't in the office today. Slight disappointed, but around 12 he messaged me on Teams. This is the first message he's ever sent me. He says, "I can't wait to see you again." I consider my feelings, but decide he's still a manager, and I want to be polite at least. I say, "I had a lovely time. Thank him for lunch and saving me from a bad date with the vending machine." Friday he's back, and this time I'm nervous. He comes to say good morning, and he asked me to go for drinks after work on Monday. I tell him we'll think about it. It's Saturday afternoon now, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm sure he'll ask again Monday morning. If I don't go, I'll tell him, and if I do go, I gotta tell my husband. So I guess that's why I decided to tell you. Help me. Now update. I honestly did not expect this to blow up. I really just needed to get it out. I have not read all the comments, and after a few harsh ones, I don't think I want to. I know this sounds like a bad romance on the big screen, but I'm a real person, and this is my actual life. IDC if you hate how I write, and it sounds fake. Eve never written anything like this before, and I don't have any other option since I can't talk to anyone. Be mindful, this is literally the most vulnerable experience of my life on the internet are in. I don't want to clear some things up. I kept details that I thought were important in the post, but obviously I left things out about myself to keep some privacy. I do like to say I am not naive or sheltered. Eve been catcalled. Eve been out drinking with female coworkers without my husband, and Eve met the men who will say anything or do anything to get what they want. It's 2024, and I have seen women speaking up about DV and SA. Eve been with my husband since I was really young, but that's a common small town thing. I am a grown woman, so be respectful and stop telling me I am acting like a child. A lot of these comments are projecting their own experiences as if I am them, in their exact same situation on the path to do exactly what they did, and in some ways the insight is helpful, but I want to focus on what's actually happened to me, and not the endless list of what could happen. Someone said delete his number. I don't have it. Someone said, what about the kids? There are none for anyone. Someone said he's a predator and taking advantage of my innocence. He's a 26 years old, gentle soul with 3 older sisters. These details I learned at lunch. He moved here a year ago and misses his family. In between asking me questions, he said he liked listening to me talk because it reminded him of his yappy sis. A lot of you said he just wants to sleep with me, then he will leave. I understand that's a possibility. Trust me, Dad made this clear. Even if a man has good intentions, sleeping with you is still one of them. However, he just called me stunning/beautiful and said he can't wait to see me. Is that so bad? He has not touched me, hugged me, held me, or made any advances to me. We didn't even shake hands. 2. I will be the first to say it since I haven't seen a single comment on it, but I believe men and women can be friends with the right boundaries. 2 of my closest friends are male, good men that I have known for 30-plus years. We grew up from kids to adults and have never crossed the friendship boundary. I've gone drinking and blacked out with them, and they've gotten me home safe. I hang out with them together and separately with or without my husband. They compliment me too, and it's all very respectful of my marriage. Everyone saying I shouldn't have gone to lunch was not there and could not see how innocent and sweet it all was. Yes, he treated me like a lady, but that's how the good ones act. I know it's different and uncommon, because unless you've lived in a small town you might not get it, but try to accept that small towns of people truly care who about the ones around them. This is true even if you don't have a personal relationship. You see the same familiar faces wherever you go. This isn't a big city with a bunch of strangers. Locals tend to know each other and often have known each other for a few generations. Now, before someone pops off, he's also from a small town too, just in a different state. I really wanted to leave some details out to keep this anonymous, but you've all made such ugly assumptions. As I type this, I hope he doesn't use Reddit. If he reads this now, he'd know it's me, but we're in the thick of it now. I will admit that during lunch he asked about my family. I told him I'm an only child, about dad and what happened with mom, my friends, the 2 guys, and my childhood best friend Sarah, what I like to eat, do I cook, what do I like to cook, what I like to do, and my hobbies. I will also admit he did not ask about my husband, and I did not bring him up. But hear me out before you crucify me. This felt like a casual conversation. I didn't feel the need to go out of my way to bring up my husband, simply because no boundaries were crossed, and he didn't ask. 3. I am sensitive and a bit hurt by some comments, and want to say ick if you read the whole post or stop when you got triggered by your own past experiences, then ran to the comments to express yourself. But I ended it with saying ick what to tell my husband, but I will tell him. I have never lied to him. It's not what we do. I know him hiding in the gray area of not telling him right away. But what if I'm overthinking and there's no need to stir the pot? What if the DM wants to be friends? What if I ask the DM if my husband can come too? I feel like the people telling me to quit my job or go to HR aren't really listening to me, or they're not absorbing that this very real thing happening to me is not exactly quite what they've been through. Your experiences are valid. I just don't think it's the same as mine. I want to help originally, but no surprise the internet has made me regret ever saying anything. I'll leave with this. I think maybe the butterflies were a response to his compliments, kindness, and his charm. Also that him consuming my thoughts is fueled by my curious nature powered by my overthinking brain. I do want to have a relationship with him and think we could be good friends. I want to go for drinks and confirm his intentions, then talk with my husband the same night. It's Saturday evening now, and he'll check this again tomorrow. Hopefully you guys can practice empathy and understanding before you say something hurtful.